Hi there, and welcome back to Chasing Financial Freedom, the YouTube channel where we talk about the stock market and how to become financially free through the use of wise investment methods. So, here we will learn all the tips and tricks of the craft, and as of right now, today we're going to talk about Delta Airlines and the airlines stocks in general. So, we can see that futures are doing fine. So we have 14 points on the S&P. Dow we have 159 points, and on the Nasdaq we have 48 points ahead. So for today it's looking okay, but let us talk about the stock market in general in relationship to the stock, the airline stock. So we have Delta Airlines, which was the first one to report their earnings, and it says on the title, Delta posts massive Q2 earnings loss crushed by truly staggering coronavirus crisis. Yes, indeed, we have a corona crisis. It's true. We can't deny that. But if we look ahead, so if we look in about half a year or a year ahead, we can clearly see that the coronavirus will be crushed, will be defeated. And so, in my opinion, even though I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just starting out, but in my thinking, in my thoughts, I'm thinking that the airlines are going to soar. Why? Because they are bottoming down right now, and usually it is expected to recover. So here we have a title that Delta Airlines reported on Tuesday that a steep plunge in second quarter revenues and profit as the COVID-19 pandemic hammering the travel industry ravaged the company's bottom line. So here were the main results from the report compared to consensus estimates compiled by Bloomberg. So revenue 1.2 billion instead of 1.43 billion that was expected. Adjusted loss per share of $4.43 versus $4.22 expected. Then we have adjusted pre-tax loss of 3.9 billion. Adjusted net income loss of 2.81 billion versus 2.66 billion expected. So we don't have a very much good prognosis right now. But with worldwide travel demand crushed by the coronavirus pandemic, Delta CEO Ed Bastian said in a statement that the quarter's result illustrates the truly staggering impact of the COVID pandemic on our business. Yes, it's true. Right now there is a problem, but if we look, as I've said, if we look ahead, we can clearly see that there is a lot of room for improvement. For example, we see that the passenger traffic is down or was down 93% in Q2 versus comparable year ago period. So we can clearly see that air travel is clearly in decline, but here it says that a recovery is slowing down. But if we went back to talk about the psychology of investing, we can see that usually what happens when people are afraid, they start to sell. And what does happen when people start to sell? Then everybody has to sell, and it's not just the individual stock picker, but it's also the other investors. For example, we have the big names or the and we have the funds managers and the funds that have to have by law one part in bonds and one part in stocks. So usually they go ahead in buying stocks, then vice versa. So they sell the stocks and buy the bonds. So it's just making waves, and the same holds true for the stock market, that it makes waves. So if we look at the future of the airline stocks, we can clearly see that they have reached a low point. If we look at the news related to the stocks, we can see that the analysts are saying that the best stocks to buy in the airline industry are the charter lines or the interstate in the USA. For example, we can see Spirit Airlines, JetBlue. Even though in this category I like very much Save, so Spirit Airlines, I have great hope in them. As the names suggest, Save. So Spirit Airlines quite possibly can save us. And if we look, for example, at Save Spirit Airlines, we can see before hours it is down. Yesterday it was down 4.62%, and today before hours is down 1.49%. But if we look here, if we believe Yahoo Finance, we can see a bullish pattern and a continuation wedge. So it is bullish. And we can see performance outlook in the short term, it will probably be a little bit down, but in the midterm, so in 6 weeks to 9 months, is going to be in the profit. So here we are seeing yesterday trade. We can clearly see a sign of on recovery, and then because of the bad news, we can see that the stock was declining. But if we look at the chart, for example, year to date, and if we look at the chart, so the stock was at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, in February, the stock was trading at about $45, and then because of the coronavirus, it has crashed down here. On the 19th March, it was $8, and then it went back up. If we look at the chart, so we see a big recovery right here, then a loss, a recovery, loss, a recovery, loss. So we have a W wedged, and here we can clearly see a recovery, then we see a loss, and then it's going to be a recovery, and then we're going probably to continue and have a W shaped. So if you look at Spirit Airlines, that I can see it as a clear winner of this period, then we can clearly see that if this pattern continues, we're going to have a big resurgence or soaring of this stock. And if we do another analysis of the support, we can see here that the stock is going up, and if we make a correction right here, we can clearly see that everything is going toward 25. So we can predict that probably in around 1 to 2 months this stock will be at a price around $25. So if we go back to the summary, and if we look here, we see that the stock is probably undervalued, and we can see a return of 71%. And here, Q2, probably in the July of 22, here it will probably go down a little. Okay, low-cost airline stocks take off from support. Yes. Okay, let us see what does it say. So it says low-cost airline stocks take off from support. Leisure travel supports low-cost carriers. So ongoing international border restrictions and reduced corporate travel throughout the remainder of 2020 look very likely as new coronavirus cases continue to emerge. So I have read yesterday, and we can see it is written that the stocks, the smaller stocks, are the best to recover the first time. So here we can see of the Spirit Airline, we have a big descending triangle, find support from horizontal red line and 50 SMA. So here we can clearly see that it's going to bounce again up. So this is my prediction, even though, as I have already stated, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who is passionate about stocks. So JetBlue Airways, I don't like that much, but as I have seen, it clearly is traded around $10, and that's the bottom line and the support line, and their investors usually don't go beyond that, so under that. And another stock that is a preferred stock of this lot is Southwest Airlines. It's a good airline, and we can clearly see that it's probably going to rise again, and the same will probably happen for Southwest Airlines that is probably going to happen with Spirit Airlines. So I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing great, and let me wish you a great day.